The eastern wild turkey once flourished in Ontario. The Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources, together with the support of a number of groups, including the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters and the National Wild Turkey Federation, supported the efforts to restore this magnificent bird to Ontario's landscape. As a result of unregulated harvest and habitat loss, wild turkey disappeared from Ontario by the early 1900s. Back then, there were no closed seasons, bag limits, or geographic restrictions on wild turkey hunting. Large numbers of wild turkey were killed by market hunters selling the harvest for food. This, along with habitat loss due to land use practices, led to the decline in wild turkey numbers. A restoration program was launched in the 1980s to bring wild turkey back to their home range in Ontario. Many volunteers and organizations supported the Ministry of Natural Resources' efforts to restore the wild turkey through trapping and transferring live birds to new areas. Objectives of the restoration program were to restore part of Ontario's natural heritage, to provide recreational hunting, to provide viewing opportunities, and to provide economic benefits to Ontario through activities related to hunting and viewing wild turkey. 274 wild turkey were captured in the United States and transported to Ontario for release at a number of sites in southern Ontario between 1984 and 1987. Wild turkeys came from various areas of the U.S. to ensure genetic diversity and the best chance of establishing a self-sustaining population in Ontario. The restoration of this magnificent bird is a tremendous success story for Ontario. The first Ontario release was on March 3, 1984, in Haldimand Township in southwestern Ontario. The wild turkeys you see today are descendants of those original 274 birds released from 1984 through 1987. This is a photo of the actual first release. This photograph shows a net, commonly referred to as a rocket net, used to capture wild turkeys from areas with healthy populations of wild turkey. Once trapped in the U.S., birds were transported to suitable locations in Ontario. When wild turkey became well established in areas where they had been released in Ontario, this trap and transfer technique was used to relocate wild turkeys to new areas across the province. Birds were often relocated the same day of their capture. Wild turkeys were released at over 270 sites in Ontario as part of the restoration program.